Welcome to the Aha Moments radio show for the inspiration, education, and celebration of enlightened living worldwide with your host, Mariana Cooper, founder of Aha Moments International and AhaMomentsWorld.com. Tune in for the next hour and learn to trust your aha moments to lead the way to live a passionate and purposeful life. And now here's your host, Mari.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Aha Moments radio show for the inspiration, education, and celebration of enlightened living worldwide. I'm Mari, and happy Tuesday. Here we are. Tonight we are talking all about the 5 telltale signs that you're about to get what you want. And I always do these shows based on things that are sort of going on in my life or have gone on in my life. I never ask you to do something I haven't done myself. And I have been, over the last couple of years, working really, really hard, like kind of ridiculous, at least by my book. And I noticed that right before some of the big breakthrough things, I mean, you know, you have plenty of little things along the way that happen, but those big things that you've been asking for that seem to take forever, and just when you thought you had it, it kind of slips through your fingers and, you know, all that kind of stuff. There seems to be a little bit of a pattern that I'm seeing that as those things really manifest, there's a few telltale signs that happen before that. And I've taken note of those over the last few years to see if anything shifted, changed, you know, refined itself. And, you know, things do have a way of doing that. And they did. So I'm going to share with you my 5 top telltale signs that you're about to get what you want, about to have that breakthrough, however you want to phrase it, but that things are moving forward. And sometimes they're a little different than what you might expect, especially since we have a tendency to you know, have different expectations than what the way the energy really actually works. So before we get to that, let's do a little bit of check-in. We have, I know we are in a waxing moon right now, which means that we have plenty of energy for manifesting. For, you know, you have the spring energy, springing forward. I know even here in California, where we didn't have, you know, certainly anywhere near the winter that everybody else had, the birds are fluttering and all the shrubs and everything are putting on their new growth and lots of new leaves and new blossoms, and everything's in, you know, full bloom here. And I'm sure that you guys in the winter states are waking up as well, so that's good. So everybody's going in the same zone now, same direction, which is forward momentum. And you want to get in as much as you can during these spring months, you know, April and May, and a good chunk of June, because July and August you go into that dormant phase where things are a little quiet. You know, the dog days of summer, it's a maturation process. And that maturation process is a little bit slower than the big, or less visible, let's just say, than the big spring, you know, new birth and also the fall harvest. So get it all done now, put the pedal to the metal, and, you know, if you've been procrastinating, stop. I know I was working on my next book, and it's just been the bane of my existence, to be honest. It's just been haunting me, and I was like, write the book. Okay. And, you know, and each day I have a different reason why I don't. And then I finally started to, you know, sit down and at least give the book its pen and paper so it can write itself through me, which is essentially what happened. And so now we're back on a roll. I think hopefully the writer's block is cured for the time being. And we're going to ride this wave while we have it, which I think is something that we all have, especially as energetic, creative people. And that's why you would even want to listen to a show like this, because you are very energetically focused and probably quite creative. And we have a little bit of a different way of managing ourselves, but we need to manage ourselves a little differently than the average person. So get it while the get's good, and go for whatever it is, whatever projects you're working on. Okay, as far as readings are concerned, we did our sale last week, and we were sold out of the Akashic readings at the sale price. They are still available We're pushing into the middle to end of May now as far as the bookings are concerned. I want to just bring up something that's been coming up a lot. Normally I would bring this up on the show, but I want to bring it up because a lot of people are buying readings. If you miss your reading, then they're not rescheduled because I wait for the readings to start. So if you are no-show within 48 hours of that reading, then please know, and I say this in the emails and stuff, but I want to make sure I say it on the air. A lot of people seem to sort of just pop up out of nowhere and say, "Oh yeah, I have it spaced out now. Now I want a spot." And honestly, I don't have. My schedule is just to the point of almost not bearable. So please be on time, and please pay attention to your scheduling and like that. Okay, so I just appreciate that if you guys could do that, because there's a whole lot more of you than there is of me, and it's getting a little frustrating on my end. So I just wanted to say that. And if you are, and you're welcome to, sign up for angel readings and Akashic readings. I say this periodically, but I really mean it this time. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be doing private sessions as far as readings are concerned, because the schedule is really getting crazy, and now the promotional calendar is starting to ramp up for the book and then all this other stuff that's kind of coming. So if you do, want to participate in that particular service, I suggest doing it in the next month or so, because I think that as far as I can see, that may be the last month for a good long time before I'll be doing them again. I'm not going to be doing them as regularly as I once was. All right, so that's that. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. Last week we had our sale for the reading, and then I also put our Opening the Channel 1, Level 1 and Opening the Channel Level 2 courses on sale for 50% off. I'm leaving those on sale for one more week. I really think that those two courses are way more powerful than any reading you're ever going to have, because they teach you the skills to be able to communicate with your own guides on an ongoing basis, especially Opening the Channel 2. I actually like that course even better than the Channel 1, but you need both, because they're progressive. The Opening the Channel 2 course was off the chart, and the people who took that have been extremely happy. As long as you put in the work, you can really connect with your own guides. Way more powerful and way better of an investment than a 30-minute reading where I give you some answers and then you run off and you kind of do whatever and then come back in 6 months for the same questions again, So a lot of, and not all readings are like that, but, a fair amount of them are, and people just kind of want me to give them these quick hit answers, and they figure, I don't want to take the time to develop my own skills. But that's really, really, really shortchanging yourself, because there's so much information coming at you on a daily basis and so much information available to you that is so easy to access. It's so ridiculously easy to access. And so it's kind of like, going to the dentist. You come to me for the deep cleanings and the root canals, that would be a reading. But you got to brush your teeth and dental floss in between. I mean, imagine if you never brushed your teeth and you just waited to the dentist to go get, your dental work done. So I know that my publisher actually hated that example because I put it in the book, but I told her I had to stay in the book because I still think it's a very poignant example, and it cuts to the chase, and it really is the point that I'm trying to make. So I hope that you guys will consider that Opening the Channel. Those courses, and we have, probably 60 or 70 different audio courses in the AHA store at this point. Take the time to learn beyond quick hit answers. Everybody gets on the show and they want a quick reading, and Mari answered this, and Mari tell me that, tell me when my boyfriend's coming, and tell me when the weather's changing. But you know what? That's all well and good, and it's fun to do it on the show and all that. But it's really for your own personal well-being and for your own forward progression. If you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling like you need that breakthrough, if you feel like, I don't know, what to do next, and you're needing that kind of advice on a daily basis, which we all do, invest in yourself. Take that time. I certainly do. I take a class with my different advisors. I take easily 2-3 classes a month for myself to continue to develop my skills. It's not just sitting here and, willing things from on high. There's a lot of practice and everything that goes into it. So if you want to look into those courses, the ones opening to channel 1 is, and I'll give you that link because I know off the top of my head. You can certainly email us for the level 2 course, or just check your email if it's in there. ahamomentsworld.com/channel. Okay, ahamomentsworld.com/channel. That gets you to the page for opening to channel 1, and it has all the descriptions. Okay, now I'm off my soapbox and all of that, and off we go into tonight's topic. Also, I see a lot of you are already on the line to talk to me and ask a question for later today on the show. The number to call in if you'd like to ask a question is 347-215-9485. It's 347-215-9485. I suggest you do that earlier than later so we can see just how many we have in the queue for later. Okay, so let's talk about the 5 telltale signs that you're about to get what you want. So the first one is complete and utter exhaustion, which I am feeling right now. And that is due to a couple of things. One is if you've been working hard towards something, clearly you get to a point where you physically have exhausted everything that is available at the moment. Okay? And sometimes we get to that point where we're working and working and working, and we're just feeling like, okay, I don't really know what else I can do. I've physically done it all. That's the point where you are supposed to rest. That's the point where you're supposed to say, okay, let me take a breath and receive, okay, and receive. Because a lot of times when you get to that point and it's the energy is pulling back, the frequency is shifting into a new gear, and you're not perceiving, the old frequency is going away, which is why you feel tired. You're stepping into the new frequency, but it's hard to perceive because you haven't experienced it yet, haven't experienced it before, so it's hard to recognize that that's what it is. And how it registers in your body and in your mental mind is complete exhaustion. Really that you're sick or that you're really as exhausted as you feel, it's that you're kind of coming out of a slow, much slower frequency. You've conjured up a much higher frequency, which is much faster, and you're feeling the difference between the speed. Okay? So when you've been doing a lot of visualizing and then putting actual physical action into whatever intuitive messages you get and taking forward steps towards the things that you want, and then you go back into, meditation to get more information, and then you take more forward steps towards what you want, and you finally kind of hit this wall where you say, okay, enough already. When do I get my stuff? I'm exhausted. I don't even know what else I can do. I think I've physically exhausted everything that I know how to do, and I feel like all of a sudden I'm very, very tired and I want to sleep a lot. That's actually the sign of a major breakthrough, that the energy that you've been circulating and that you've been churning up to shift, to come down into physical matter in that new thing that you're desiring, is in the process of transferring frequencies. It's going from the energetic into the physical. It's coming down into the physical. That descent is almost like labor for a mom giving birth, okay? That descent from that energetic transfer into the physical can often appear like everything is lost, it's not going to happen. And that's when a lot of people quit. So that saying is they don't quit before the miracle happens. There's a reason for that saying, and that is people they're not educated, which is what we were talking about earlier, in how all this works. So they quit right at the point where if they had given it just one more, go at it as far as just allowing it through without condemning it, without saying, oh, this stuff doesn't work, without throwing it out, without changing gears, without throwing in the towel, they would see that it materializes very, very shortly after that feeling. Okay, so feeling that sense of exhaustion is a very strong telltale sign that you're about to get what you've been asking for. Aspects of what you want to show up start to show up. So that's number 2. So what do I mean by that? You'll start to see almost half steps, I call them. So for instance, at one point I wanted a new car, and I had gone on this quest to manifesting this new car. And a friend of mine calls me up, and I had told her about the new car. A friend of mine, what I wanted, calls me up and says, oh my gosh, I know you've been wanting this kind of car for, a year, and a friend of mine just has to get rid of his, and it only has 17,000 miles on it, and it's in awesome condition, and, you can have it for this much. And you say, wow, it is the car that you've been looking for. It did come out of the blue, like a true manifestation does. But the deal is kind of strange. It's not quite right. And there's a few things that are not quite right about it. So while you feel like it's pretty miraculous that this kind of showed up in your space, maybe the money isn't there for you to fully do the deal yet, or, there's just something off in what it's not quite what you were looking for, but it's so close that it makes you pause and think maybe I should, go for it. And what happens is this is a sign that you are very close. So sometimes that's a situation where it's saying your frequency and your work that you've been doing is pretty spot on, but it's to the final configuration of what you've really desired. Sometimes it's saying, here it is, and now this is going to work its way through, and it will ultimately be what you've been desiring. But the point is that I always call this the sign that land is near. So if, let's say, you've been sailing on a ship in your boat and you've been out at sea for quite some time and you're trying to get back to land, so one of the telltale signs that you'll see that you're getting closer is you'll see branches floating by. You'll start to see debris that can only be from the land itself floating by while you're still out at sea. It's just giving you a sign that land is near. And that's what these signs are. They kind of, the things that you're desiring kind of come in, and it's kind of like close but not quite there. And that's when people have a tendency to throw in the towel and compromise too soon. Okay, now sometimes, we always say pray for or ask for this or something better, right? Sometimes we have that. But in this case, what we're looking at is the signs that land is near. Okay, so you might, there's plenty of them. I know for myself, I've been having actually a lot of this because I'm going into another phase right now. And kind of the old stuff is just lingering and exhausting me. And the new stuff isn't quite there to take up the slack, So, and I keep seeing like these half steps. And I'm like, wow, look at that. That is so close, but it's so far. It's too far to say yeah, and it's too close to say no, that's not significant. It's kind of like when somebody in the circus is swinging on the trapeze, and they're swinging and they're waiting for the other trapeze to come so they can take the leap from one bar to the other, and they swing out and they know it's close, but it's a little too far to take the leap for. So they let themselves swing back, and then they pump harder with their legs, and so they can reach further, and then the other swing comes towards them. Again, still not quite there. And then they know that point. They know that point, especially when they're experienced. The top professionals, they know the exact ratio of how far the second bar needs to be, how close it needs to be to them, for them to actually let go of the first bar, turn in the air, and catch the second bar in just the right timing. Well, these signs that I'm talking about, these sort of half steps, these things that kind of show up, but they're not quite what you were looking for, but they're very close. That's that bar swinging, but it's not quite time to turn in the air to catch it. It's time to continue to swing. Maybe, just double check your form, stretch a little bit more, and a little more patience for that bar to come in just at the right angle so that when you turn, boom, you catch it and you swing to the other side. Okay? So that's step number 2. Aspects of what you want start to show up. Now, this can be very frustrating if you don't know, if you haven't done your studies, if you're not sure about these processes. This is why I say, like in that opening the channel class, those 2 classes, this is the kind of stuff you learn, these nuances. And it's very hard. You can spin for a really long time without the education. So this, but these aspects of things showing up, it's actually more evidence. Remember that you are transferring what you desire in the physical world. You're transferring it from the energetic down into physical matter. So it starts to take form. And, of course, your guides and angels want you to feel encouraged to continue with your processes, your manifesting processes and your focus and your meditations and your visualizations, and you're taking physical action in your world as you're inspired to do so. All of those things, they want you to continue. And you literally are creating, energy into matter. So you're going to start to see evidence of that. You want to see evidence of that. Okay? You want to encourage that to come forward. The way you encourage that to come forward is to, number one, acknowledge it, write it down. You see something that's saying, well, that's about 65% of what I've been looking for. Not quite there, but, very, very close. Write it down. You will see that over the next few days, if you maintain your stance and maintain your focus, over the next few days, you will see things start to configure even more so. You'll see a better option come up. So don't panic if you say no to something that nothing else is going to come. I see people do this a lot when it comes to job searches, where they're willing to settle because they're scared. And they think, okay, all I need is security. I can tell you that you will never find security in something that you go in knowing that it's 50% of what you were in alignment with. Okay? So very, very important to take note of that. Okay, so the next telltale sign of the 5 is that you start to let go of things that were in the way. So this is a very interesting one, and I'm going to combine that with the 4th thing. So I'm talking about 2 things at the same time, and that's the 4th thing is big issues show up to be solved. So you start to let go of things that were in the way, and it actually isn't easy letting go. It actually feels like, okay, you know what? I'm kind of done with this. And maybe 5 months ago you couldn't have even ever seen yourself letting it go. It might be that relationship. It might be a piece of furniture. It might be a job. It might be, a project that you thought was going to be the project and it's not turning out to be that. But you start to let go of things that are in the way. You also start to let go of something else, and that is when you're getting to the tail end, you almost get to the point where you almost don't even care if you get this thing anymore because it's been a long haul. You start to let go of your attachment to the outcome, your attachment of exactly how it's going to turn out, your attachment to assigning your happiness to it turning out the way you want it to. What do I mean by that? A lot of times we have a vision, and then when we have this vision, we arrest our happiness. We say, okay, I'll be happy once I get that new house. I'll be happy once I get that new job. I'll be happy once that guy says he likes me back. And until that guy says he likes me back, I can't be happy. So then what does that make us do? The natural outcome of that is we go chase him down so he can behave the way we want so we can actually get some access to our happiness. That's the fastest way to get rid of anything, is to attach like that and to attach your happiness. So we arrest our happiness, and we hold it up until we manifest what it is we're wanting. Well, in this 3rd step, we let go of that. We say, you know what? Fine. If he's not the one, then so be it. Let me have whoever the one is. Now, if that's not the job, then so be it. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I just want to be happy. I really don't care if I have that job anymore. I want to move on. So you might ask, well, why would the universe push you to that point? And usually the universe pushes you to that point because they never want you to attach your happiness onto the outcome of something. They want you to be happy anyway. They want you to find contentment. You may not be, I just hit the lottery happy, especially if you're feeling stressed out, about, something that has to do with this thing you're trying to manifest. But what they don't want you to do is attach your happiness onto it, and that's one of the biggest things that will hold it up. Why is that? Because what it does is if you're attached and say, okay, I will only be happy after I get that man to love me, okay, then what happens if something happens to him? There goes your happiness out the window. Well, generally, history repeats itself. So what are you going to do? You're going to go attach your happiness onto the next person. I see this all the time when I'm doing readings, especially on the directories that I'm on. And they call in, and it's like, well, is he thinking about me? Is he thinking about me on Facebook? Is he going to come? When is he? All these different things. And it's like they're basically saying to me, the translation is, I can't be happy until he does what I want. I mean, how enslaved is that, right? So number 3, letting go of things that are in the way, and number 4, big issues show up to be solved. Okay, big issues that show up to be solved. So sometimes we have something that we haven't been dealing with that all of a sudden comes to head. Maybe I had a client who hadn't done their taxes and they needed to get their taxes done. And for a while, there was no consequence. They didn't hear anything, just kind of this quiet thing. And then all of a sudden, they got 3 letters in a day. Oh my gosh, panic, ton. They've been asking for, more money, asking for a better job, asking for, a windfall, asking for more money. Well, the guy won't deliver $1 million to chaos. So when you ask for those big kinds of money, if there's anything, credit cards, any kind of debt, any kind of thing that you're fiscally having, challenges with, it's going to show up. It's going to come right up in your face because it's trying to make room for the new that you desire without getting into more trouble. And usually when you have those big issues that show up to be solved, the solution is coming up right next to it, and that's number 5. Number 5 telltale sign that you're about to get what you want is that miraculous solutions to things that you've been really concerned about that have been holding you up start to show up. And that means that you have actually shifted frequency, that you've shifted into a new direction. You've shifted into that new energy because not only does the physical thing that you want, car, house, job, person, have to materialize, your frequency has to also align with that new material thing. You can't get it if you're not in the similar frequency. So one of the things that has to happen is you have to clean up your act. It's kind of like if you were going to have a new baby, and that nursery that you've had has been your husband's, office/storage room, and you need that room for the nursery. You can't put the kid in there on top of the printer and the scanner. You got to move that stuff out, put the crib, the bassinet, all that other stuff in there. So it's the same thing. Okay, so what you're going to see is solutions seem to appear out of nowhere, and then and they are usually in alignment with big issues that have shown up that need to be solved, and it seems like it all happens at once. So why do I bring all of this up? I bring all this up because, as you can see from these 5 telltale signs, that a lot of times right before you're getting what you want, all holy hell breaks loose. Okay? It's not pretty. Just like a baby, you go from seeing the woman taking the picture with the big belly and, the little, the hair band and the whole thing and, the whole family celebrating she's pregnant. And then the next picture you see is her holding the baby and she's looking at it like the Madonna. But you don't see that gap in between the two of them. What actually happened to the 2 of them, plus the father, the doctors, and everything else, right? In between. You see cute belly, and you see cute little baby all bundled up, all swaddled in a little thing, little blanket with a little hat on, or a little headband with the giant flowers so people can tell it's a girl, or whatever. But you don't see all the ugliness in between. If you talk to any mother who's given birth, they will tell you stories that'll make the hair stand on the back of your neck. I know a lot of you listening are mothers. You're probably laughing right now because it's true. And you know it's true. That's how life is. As you're going through a birthing process, whenever you ask for anything, something as simple as, money to pay the bills next month to, as big as, making a huge career change or getting married or whatever, okay? It's all a birthing process. So there's the pretty part and the cozy part where you don't want to panic, the part where you're giving birth, the ugly part. Rich people say it's beautiful, but, a lot of people are like, well, it's beautiful after it's over, but it's not so beautiful when you're going through it. And there's contractions, right? It's gripping, and then it's releasing. It's gripping and releasing. So you've got a real scenario going on here. In this, you can't jump up off the table and say, okay, I'm not doing it with this baby. At that point, you have doctors and nurses and husbands and whatever else is next to you helping you out. But that's the same thing with your manifestation. You're going to need help. You don't do this all by yourself. And that's why you want to have the help with someone, a professional, or whether it's an intuitive or some sort of spiritual person, or in the physical world where you're dealing with, your finances or relationships or whatever. You need those midwives. You need the midwives of your manifestation. You need those people to help to steward in, to guide in your new creation. And you don't throw out, you don't give up at the last minute when things get a little rough. That's why I wanted to bring up these 5 signs. So with that, we are going to take a break, and I'm going to get some water. And when we come back, we'll do a few readings. I see if you are on the line with a question. The number to call in is 347-215-9485. That's 347-215-9485. All right. So I'm Mara. You're listening to the Aha Moments radio show, and we'll be right back.
Do you ever get a hunch about something and ignore it, only to find out later you were right after all? Do you know that you're intuitive but need help interpreting what you get? Need quick answers to burning questions but don't have the time to wait for a private reading? Then Mari's Intuitive Living Oracle cards are the tool for you. 45 gorgeous laminated cards and a full book of interpretations come together in a beautiful velvet bag. The cards have been designed and energized to give you the answers right now. No more sleepless nights weighing pros and cons. Ask the cards your questions and see what message your intuition has for you. To learn more and get your deck now, go to the store at www.ahamomentsinc.com and click on the Intuitive Living cards now. That's the store at ahamomentsinc.com. The answers are truly within your reach.
Are you living the life you are really meant to live? Soul Lifetimes Magazine is your online source for creating the life you truly desire. When you register for your free subscription at www.soullifetimes.com, you get access to a world of resources that will help you to get the answers you seek and inspire you to take charge of your world. Tap into your body, mind, and spirit with articles from some of the most well-known conscious thought leaders and teachers on metaphysics, soul talk, soulmate relationships, quantum healing, astrology, food for the soul, style, and more. When you join us to create a joyful lifestyle for a new way of being, you truly contribute to raising the consciousness of the world. Subscribe for free at www.soullifetimes.com and never miss an issue of this innovative and insightful digital magazine. Soul Lifetimes Magazine is about living happier, healthier lives full of purpose, joy, and abundance. Subscribe now for free at www.soullifetimes.com. We look forward to seeing you there.
Step back in time to the very beginning, before life as we know it existed. Stones have been on this earth since before the inception of man. They are keepers of ancient wisdom and messages. Tap into the profound wisdom of stones and let your journey begin at the Rock Girl Sacred Stone School. Let the Rock Girl take you back to those ancient days to learn firsthand the language and the secrets of stones. The Rock Girl will teach you how to develop your very own technique of communicating with them, allowing you to embark on your own path of self-discovery. Courses include Reiki, psychic development, chakra balancing and auric cleansing, hands-on healing, and more. Visit sacredstoneschool.com for classes and workshops taught exclusively by the Rock Girl of therockgirl.com.
Are you at a crossroads in your life, facing big decisions about your life purpose, business, relationships, or other major issues? Are you wondering why you may be delayed in getting what you want? Or if you have special guides who are helping you? Then investing in a private intuitive reading with Mari is just what you need. As a third-generation spiritual intuitive, Mari has worked with thousands of clients over the past 18 years. During your private session, you will learn who your guides are, receive insight on the core issues that need attention, and get new perspective, clarity, and inspiration on what to do next. To register, go to www.ahamomentsinc.com and click on the Work with Mari tab to get all of the details. There are a limited number of spots each month, so go to www.ahamomentsinc.com for yours now.
Okay. Hello, we're back. I'm Mari. You're listening to the Aha Moments radio show, and tonight we're talking all about the 5 telltale ways to know that you're about to get what you want. And I wanted to, on the break, I was thinking about this, and I wanted to give you the names of a few of the guides and angels that you can call upon to help you as you're going through these phases of your manifesting process, because I know it can be a little frustrating. And these are some of the guides that I know for a fact work. So I'm going to give you the names and some of the descriptions, and then we'll get to a couple of these calls. So the first one, for protection, whenever you're stressing out, because usually when you're trying to manifest one thing, you're stressing out over something else because you're looking for a solution to, figure out the thing that you're stressing out over. The one guide that you always want to call in to help you is Archangel Michael. He is for protection, and he's also good for technology, by the way. So if you're dealing with a computer issue or something, he's a good one to call in. So that's Archangel Michael. Archangel Uriel and Jeremiel, Jeremial, help to release any kind of harsh emotions like unforgiveness, kind of resentment, any kind of jealousy, any kind of envy, any kind of long-term grudges, anything that might stand in the way. Those two angels, Archangel Uriel and Archangel Jeremiel, are the ones who can really help you to ease that, to clear that, and that will usually cause some sort of flow to happen for you. You'll start to see some movement. If things have been taking quite some time for you to manifest, you might want to look into that, because those little things that you're blocking, like you say, okay, I don't want to think about that person. I'm just not going to think about it. I just blocked them out of my mind. When you do that, you block someone out of your mind. You're also blocking good energy from coming in to change things. And you're blocking energy that even doesn't have to do with that category of things. So you might be blocking from an old friendship, but you're also, when you put up that wall against a relative, old friendship, or whatever, you're also putting up a wall to your money. You're putting up a wall to new opportunity. You're putting up a wall to things coming through for you. So you want to, you want to make sure that you're clearing those types of emotions on a regular basis so that you can have that flow. Okay. For career changes and anything that has to do with work or career or twin flame, true love, the soulmate, the big kahuna relationship, Archangel Chamuel, Chamuel, is the guy. He is the angel that will help you to work through that. And you can just call on that angel, Archangel Chamuel, and just ask, can you please support me and give me clarity? And you can even say divine communication or clarity around this situation. And you can just write out the situation that, whatever that situation is, they can smooth it out for you and help you to get clarity on it, on what the next steps are, if that person is right for you, and that kind of thing. If you're dealing with any kind of health-related situation, you want to call in Archangel Raphael. And I know, like, even when I'm really tired, excuse me, and I'm not necessarily sick, I'll call in Archangel Raphael to give me a boost of energy. And you can also call in a band of healing angels to help you, kind of surround you and send green light, which is healing light, to you for that situation. Archangel Raphael is also good for travel, and Archangel Raphael is also good for relationships, believe it or not. So sometimes people want a big relationship to happen, but what they really need first is healing. You also, when you want money issues, money situations to be solved, one of the things you want to ask for is healing of the current money situation. A lot of people are just going for give me more money and that will fix everything, but what they're not realizing is they're pouring in, today's fresh cup of coffee on yesterday's old Starbucks, so it doesn't you're not really getting what you need. So asking Archangel Raphael to assist you in healing is a very, healing even financially is a great way to start. Two others, and then we'll get to some readings, is for releasing obstacles, Ganesh, Ganesh, Ganesha, Ganesha, really is what his name is. And he's a Hindu deity for releasing obstacles, very, very well known, and very, very powerful. And actually, I've worked with his energy quite a bit for releasing obstacles. And then Lakshmi is the Hindu goddess of prosperity and good fortune and lots of fortune. And she is the one who is pouring in the money energy. Okay, money, abundance, opportunities, those types of things. So Lakshmi usually travels with Ganesha. So if you're going to talk to Ganesha, you might want to talk to Lakshmi together. The other two for money are Abundantia, which is actually Goddess Fortuna. And then there's also Arakura. She's for more of emergency money, emergency situations. She's a fairy queen. Aerakura, Arakura. You can just call her in to help you with usually household money, things for bills, that kind of thing. She can help with that. So those are, kind of a posse of guides that can support you when you're in that phase, especially at the tail end of these things, and you're looking for support, energetic support, a little bit of oomph to get you through that little, darkest night. What do they say? It's always darkest before the dawn, that little dark time before the dawn. So I hope that's helped. And now we're going to take a couple of your calls. So listen up if you've been waiting on the line. And the number to call is 347-215-9485. Okay, so we have first up Elisa in Massachusetts. Hi, Elisa. Did we lose her? Okay, I think we lost her, Sam. Okay, so next we have Gina in Georgia. Hi, Gina.
Hi.
Hello. How can I help tonight?
Okay, I was just hoping you could hear me. But, yes, I want to make a quick comment about the 5 signs you were saying when you're about to manifest whatever you want. Because it seems like I'm going through everything right now. Everything, all the doors want to close, and I'm like, no, not right now. Especially, like I said, I'll make this real quick. I had 2 jobs, and my part-time job was terminated March the 1st, and now the job that I'm in now, my last day is on the 30th. And after that, I don't know what I'm going to do. And it's like, oh, my God, I wanted to find a permanent job before I even let the other 2 go, but they actually going before I even get there. So that's how it just seemed like something better got to come from me in the nick of time.
Yeah,
so
Archangel Samuel is the one. Yeah, our Archangel Shamuel is the one to help you with that. Yeah, and it doesn't feel like you're going to be out of work. So it feels like you are going to find something pretty quickly.
Okay. My question was about a friend of mine, a college friend of mine, and we were best friends. Last year, when I was going through my personal changes, going through my separation and my divorce, she wasn't there for me as I thought I would like for her to be. So we had a falling out, and she was saying she had health issues, and I get that. But ever since in a time, it just seemed like it's always about her. And I just felt like at that particular time I needed you to be there for support. But I'm good now. So, but like I said, we had a falling out, and I've just been dreaming about her. I don't know if it's just a subconscious thing that, maybe I'm worried about her. So I don't know, will we rekindle our friendship, or should I just let this go?
Well, sometimes friends drop out of heavy-duty situations because they aren't the asset that you thought they might be, and there's certain things you're supposed to go through without them. So I know that happened to me quite a bit during my move here and everything. People I thought were going to be there for me were nowhere to be found, and people I thought didn't care were right in my face. So it's a very interesting thing. When you start to create change, remember, it's not just on the physical, you're also changing your frequency. And so when your frequency shifts, and you seem to have been going through what we call a tower period, where everything in your life kind of collapses simultaneously, and that's because you ask for big change. In order to get big change, you have to clear the way for it. So so when it comes to the friendship, it does feel actually like you will rekindle the friendship, but you'll do it with a different hat on. You won't feel the kind of demand on her energy that she must, kind of be that person that she may not be. You have a little bit more confidence within yourself. And, the one big piece of advice that I got that really, really helped me is always allow people to be who they are and pay attention. I know Maya Angelou said something to the line of people will tell you exactly who they are if you let them. And they do it very quickly and very much in the beginning of a relationship or friendship. A lot of times what we do is we see people and we see what they are, but then we say, well, I think they'll change, or I can inspire them to change, or they'll align with me because I want them to, or they'll fall in line with what I need them to be. And people always really stay focused on what's in their best interest. So rekindle that friendship probably, but you will have a different level of expectation. If you bring your expectation down to the level of what it really is, then you could probably have a fairly nice, social interaction. But as far as that being the person who's going to fall on the sword for you or throw herself in front of a train at all costs when you're down, that's probably not the person. If you need that kind of person, you need to look elsewhere.
Okay. Well,
all right.
That's okay. So it was a reason, but okay. I'm good.
Yep. All right, my dear. Well, good luck with
everything,
and thanks for calling in. Take care. She had such bright, effervescent energy. We like that. Okay, so now we have Laura in New Jersey. Hi, Laura.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Oh, you're welcome. What's your question?
Well, I have been getting a lot of coins every time I go out around my car, no matter where I'm at. And
that's good.
I started a contract about 4 weeks ago, and it's kind of frustrating me. And I'm not.
You started a what? I'm sorry, I couldn't understand. You started a what?
A what? I do contract work. Contract?
Oh, contract. Okay, I couldn't understand what you're saying. You're muffled. Go ahead.
All right. So it's been a little frustrating. They kind of threw me into the deep end, and it's crazy. But I think it's starting to get better, and ultimately my goal is I want to be able to purchase a home this year. And I'm wondering if the coins might be a sign that stick with it, you're in the right job, you're on track, get your ultimate goal, which is the house, if I stay here at this contract, or am I do the coins signify maybe that I should make a change and look for a different contract altogether? Because ultimately I want to be able to afford my home this year.
Well, affording to buy a home and affording to sustain a home are two completely different things. So if you want to attempt to buy a house with the money you're making from a contract that you're miserable in, you probably could pull that off. But will you be able to stay in the house and keep the house with that level of ongoing misery? Not really. So from an energetic perspective, you were thrown into the deep end, but is the contract, and you don't have to answer this now, this is something to contemplate because I think it's going to take you a few weeks to sort it out, is this contract doing something that makes your heart sink? Because ultimately you want that. Now, as far as the coins being by your side and all that, it means that you're definitely going to get that house this year. I don't see there being any problem. How there's more than one way to do anything. I don't like to say skin a cat because I have 3 cats. So I don't like to use that thing.
No.
It always gives me the creeps. But you get the point, is that there's, you have in your head, and you're very obviously a very strong person and a very willful person, you have in your head, how, you can make the money to get the house, you add it up, and, and there it is. But what your guides are trying to, encourage you to do in this learning phase that you're in is to trust the energy and allow yourself to be led. So I would still continue to keep your feelers out for work, but now that you have something that you know is going to pay the bills and ultimately probably get you the house, at least, get you in it, keep your eyes open for a thing that's going to make your heart sink, because that's what's going to keep you in it once you get it. And that's what people forget. Okay?
Yeah.
People really get caught up in, wrangling and noosing and lassoing their goals with a mental mind and, banging it out on the computer, banging it out on the calculator and trying to force. Then they get it, but they can't sustain it because you cannot sustain that forced energy over a long period of time. It just doesn't work like that.
Yeah. And
so
I
you
am
don't
looking for that opportunity that is going to make my heart sing. I really am trying to find that.
So you're in a really good position. So instead of looking at it as a real struggle, say, okay, thank you for giving me the meantime money, and now please guide me. And you are, with the coin, being guided. And actually they're trying to really communicate with you. You're being guided to go for, it's a bigger opportunity because it's obviously very close by. It does feel like it's very close by. It feels like it's within the next 3 months. But if you keep spitting out on, will I get my house, will I not get my house? Like, God knows I'm working on a house too. So I understand how easy it is to spin with that. But, houses have a very interesting way of showing up. And if you give the universe, let the universe have its way with you, they have a way of showing up in the least expected, configurations. So I would continue on your path, and I would try to find some ease around the contract you're doing, because I do feel that one of the things that's slowing you down is that you're resenting the contract, but you need the contract. So it's that push-me-pull-you energy, and that will cannibalize things faster than you ever know.
So be grateful for the contract and the fact that I have something to tide me over right now and pay my bill. And know that another opportunity, the one that's going to make my heart sing, is coming in about 3 months. But do you think it's with a different company altogether? But it's going to make my heart sing. It's going to be Lee.
Well, see, now you're giving me all the power. That's for you. That's for you. I'm not going to, just feed your Christmas presents here. That's for you to allow it to unfold, okay? And that's why you're getting those coins, because it's saying follow the breadcrumb, all right? It's trying to call your attention that there's more to what your mental mind says, more to it, okay? You have your mental, emotional, energetic, and physical, okay? The energetic right now being the most important. Your mental mind is very easy to cannibalize all the rest of it and try to force it. Oh, well, Mari said it's 3 months, and Mari said it's a different company, and Mari said it's going to make my heart sink, so there it is. No, I could say all of that, sure. Whatever you just said, But realistically, your energy is creating this minute by minute by minute. So that's what I'm saying. The 3 things that I want you to focus on, okay, is number 1, finding peace at the job you're in, because that's cannibalizing, and it's making your mental mind go into overdrive about shouldn't I, do this, all of that.
Well,
it does feel like you said.
I get feathers too, and I'm also getting angel numbers repeating all the time.
So you're getting all the signs. So that means you need to follow. I'm going to have to jump off, but I just, I do think that you're on the right track. Just try to find peace make peace with where you are, and allow yourself to take forward steps on the signs that are coming your way. If the feathers and the pennies and all that stuff will give way to actual action steps when you stop cannibalizing the energy with the current contract that you have. You'll start, instead of getting pennies and feathers, you'll get, here's the job you should consider, or here's the direction, or here's the house, and it's a different type of buying program, or somebody gives you a house, or you get an inheritance. You never know how it's going to work, okay? But if you can stop gripping down on the current job that you have, it won't be spilling that negative energy into all of the other potential possibilities. So I'm going to have to jump off, but I hope that's helped. And have a great night.
It really does. Thank you. You too.
You're welcome. Take care. All right, everybody. I think we are at the end of yet another Aha Moments radio show. So I would love for you to join us in class. It's an audio class. Actually, you can take it at your own pace. And it will really, really, really help you with all of this stuff, way beyond a reading. Not that I don't love to see you guys in readings, but I really do think that in this community, we really, to build those skills has so much value. So www.ahamomentsworld.com/channel. See you here next week, same time, same place. And we'll end with my motto, which is, you truly can have exactly what you want. You absolutely deserve it too. And in this new energy, anything is possible. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.